keep calling, I ain't picking up. Through with conversation, done with games, now you know I'm giving up. I didn't have to be like this, but you made me. You got everybody around me out here thinking I'm crazy. Now our past changed our future, and that's breaking my heart. What is good, YouTube fam, and welcome back to another reaction. We got 5 crazy reactions of convicts sentenced to death. Let's jump up in it.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
This man, Timothy Jones Jr. of Illinois, is charged with the killing of all 5 of his own children by strangulation.
I wish I never clicked on this video. Jesus Christ, bro. I never understood that, bro. I never understood how, as a father, as a mother, as a parent, as someone that has brought something into this world, how you can take it out that way. You know, how you can just, with no emotions, no regret, just take out your child. You're supposed to love and take care of that, protect that child. How can you just do that? Like, it never gets easier hearing this stuff, bro. It never does.
Who is Timothy Jones Jr.? Well, according to the prosecution, nothing but a mass murderer.
He murdered his 5 kids. He is a mass murderer.
His own children's executioner. And why? Because he put his own life over his children, and they suffered the most horrible punishment: death.
He goes through and brutally murders every child.
And then what happened to him? How did he get deceased? What did you do?
I sent him to bed after I worked him real hard because he wouldn't answer me.
And what do you mean by working him too hard?
I just PT'd his ass till he couldn't handle it.
It is later revealed that the child did in fact die by strangulation, along with the others. He then goes on to claim that voices began in his head, and this is why he decided to go on and kill the other 4 children, one by one. For days after, he kept them in his vehicle.
Nigga, what? Come on, bro. Wow, that hurts my heart, bro.
Where are they, though?
They're with me in the car.
Okay, they're all in the back?
Yes.
Okay.
He brought up the voices in his head and seeing people and things that aren't present multiple times, hoping to help his plea of guilty by reason of insanity.
What did you see or hear?
I've seen people. I've had conversations. I've started to talk with people. But there's nobody in the room.
While the audio of him apologizing to his children is being played in court, you can see him break down.
God, I'm sorry. Children, I love you. I hope I see you again someday.
I'm sorry, bro, but I have no remorse for that. I have no sympathy for that. You're sitting here crying, talking about that you heard voices and this and that, bro. If that's the case, you go seek help. You don't hurt your children. You go seek help, bro. You feel me? Like, you talking about you were seeing people and all this other stuff. Okay, go see a therapist. Go see a psych. Come on, man. Like, I'm sorry. That's just me, though. Special place in hell for people like that. That's just me, though.
What did he do? I'm sorry.
Neither his tears nor his attempt to appear insane helped his case, though, as in the end, it took the jury less than 2 hours to recommend he be sentenced to death.
Good.
We, the jury, in the above entitled case, have found beyond a reasonable doubt the existence of the following statutory aggravating circumstances: the murder of 5 children 11 years of age or younger. Now recommend to the court that the defendant, Timothy R. Jones Jr., be sentenced to death.
Somehow, Timothy is able to joke around with his legal team after hearing the verdict. Those tears for his children clearly weren't sincere.
Man, see? That's what I'm
He's
talking
been on
about,
death
bro.
row in South Carolina since 2019, and that's exactly where he'll stay.
I do not blame you if you kill me. I do not deserve to live.
This is Anthony Kirkland, a brutal serial killer from Ohio who was charged with the rape and murder of 4 women. And 2 of his victims were 13 and 14-year-old girls. These weren't his first murders either. His first victim was in 1987 after a woman refused to have sex with him. He raped and murdered her too.
What?
After pleading guilty to voluntary manslaughter, he was sentenced to 10 to 25 years in prison, but was released on parole in 2014 after...
That's crazy, bro. If you murder someone, rape someone, you should not be getting out. You should not be able to get parole. There's no bullshit. Oh, I changed. I'm reformed. No, you're not. He's gonna do it again. That person's gonna do it again. The system, man, it's flawed. It's flawed.
16 years served. He went on to commit the rest of his crimes between 2006 and 2009. 2 of the 4 women that he murdered were strangled to death. The common MO between all of his victims was that he burned their bodies to conceal evidence of rape.
Wow.
Just look at how he reacts to hearing his charges.
Kirkland, you are charged with the following offenses as contained in the indictment. Count 1, attempted rape with specifications. Count 2, aggravated murder with specifications. Count 3, aggravated robbery with specifications. Count 4, aggravated murder.
Fainting on the floor, and he had only heard a few of the 12 counts at this time. The prosecution is unfazed by his reaction though.
As they should be.
Kirkland is, in fact, a vicious serial killer.
While he pleads not guilty,
Kirkland, this is a death penalty case. What's the defendant's plea?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
and does not take the stand during trial, his own words come back to haunt him as his interrogation clips are played live in court.
How did you hurt her? Did you knock her out?
He is charged on all counts, and it isn't until the sentencing phase that he finally takes the stand.
I cannot believe how horrible I am. They say I am evil and a monster. They're right. Ever since I was little, I even hated me. I do not blame you if you kill me.
The jury recommends the death penalty.
The sentence of death should be imposed upon Anthony Kirkland.
Anthony is currently on death row at the Chilcote Correctional Institution, and we think that's probably for the best. This is Tiffany Moss of Georgia State. She was a former preschool teacher who's charged with the malicious murder of her 8-year-old stepdaughter, Amani Moss. Tiffany married a man Moss, who until then had largely raised Amani on his own. There is no knowledge of Tiffany abusing her own biological children, but she sure made Amani suffer terribly. It only got worse after Amani told a school nurse that she was afraid to return home because she would be beaten.
Wow.
It was then discovered that there were several bruises, scabs, and welts across her body. Tiffany was charged for the abuse, receiving 5 years of probation and ultimately losing her job. But this led to her resenting Amani even more.
Because this defendant blamed that child, blamed the 6-year-old for causing her to lose her job, not be able to have her career anymore.
Wait, my question is, so she obviously went to court. They gave her 5 years of probation. They gave that child back to that woman? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what they telling me right now? They gave that child back to that woman? Because if that's so, everybody needs to be in jail, bro. Like, her death is on y'all hands.
More that she had gone to college for, she wasn't able to work, and along with it came financial hardship for that family.
Which resulted in more abuse, and eventually, Amani's unfortunate and inhumane murder by starvation.
Wow.
And what was her weight?
32 pounds. According to the standard growth charts, a 10-year-old girl should weigh somewhere between 54 and 103 pounds. So this is at less than the 5th percentile.
At the time of her death, she only weighed 32 pounds,
wow,
which is the average weight of a 3-year-old. The jurors were brought to tears when they heard the details about the case. And to make matters worse, Tiffany can be seen laughing when questioned by the judge.
Sort of letting the cat out of the bag?
Not really, Your Honor.
In the end, the prosecution's closing arguments indicate that in this case, the death penalty fits the crime.
There are some crimes, they're so horrible, they're so heinous. The only balance you can pay is with your life.
He said that she will not change. She has shown how evil she is, and that she cannot be rehabilitated because she has no conscience.
She doesn't have that conscience. And the reason I can say that with such confidence,
I mean, look at her. Look how she's looking.
is the nature of the crime.
Verdict as to penalty, count 1, murder. We, the jury, recommend and fix the penalty as death. Signed and dated by the foreperson.
Tiffany is currently the only female on death row in Georgia, and I doubt she's laughing now. This is Markeith Lloyd of Florida, who faces the death penalty for the murder of an Orlando police lieutenant, Deborah Clayton. And this wasn't his first murder. In December of 2016, Markeith shot and killed his girlfriend at the time, Sade Dixon, and their unborn baby. A manhunt began, and in January of 2017, whilst he was still on the run, Lieutenant Clayton spotted him outside of a Walmart while she was shopping for her anniversary dinner. When she went to confront him, he shot and killed her.
Wow.
Markeith was eventually arrested, and when he was brought into the police station, reporters asked him why he killed Clayton. His only response was repeatedly,
Where have you been hiding? What did you say?
He wasn't done complaining though, as he then goes on to claim that he was framed for the murder.
I absolutely don't know nothing about. And they framed me,
Later, during his trial, Markeith can be seen storming out of the courtroom. His lawyer tries to plead for him to stay, but he isn't having any of it. Eventually, he replaced those lawyers, but he wasn't exactly happy with his new lawyers either, going on to claim that he wanted to defend himself and that he doesn't like the ruling of the court.
What?
So you don't like the rulings that the court is making, or you don't like...
I don't like the ruling the court making and the arguments and the stuff that's being put forth on this side.
All of his complaints were in vain though, as the death sentence was given.
We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Markeith Lloyd, should be sentenced to death.
He smiles and talks to someone in the gallery, presumably family members, but regardless, a bit of a strange reaction. For the family of Lieutenant Clayton,
he just took someone so much away from me that it hurts.
Man.
But I'm happy. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Now she can rest in peace.
In 2014 in Florida, a 9-year-old girl, Felicia Williams, is raped and murdered by strangulation. 6 years later, her murder and our convict Granville Ritchie is finally given his sentence.
The defendant, Granville Ritchie, is hereby sentenced to death.
It's another tragic tale of a child being murdered, and one that left the victim's family with an immense amount of grief.
I just miss my grandbaby.
Her sister.
She meant the world to us, and he discarded her like she was nothing.
In a remarkable turn of events, the father of the victim even forgives Granville for his terrible actions.
I forgive you, bro. That's how strong my God is. I come in and smile at you today with no harm or ill wills towards you. You my brother. You made a mistake, but you got time. You got time to get right with God, bro.
Although, he did still want to hear an apology.
You took something from me you can't give back.
Man.
I don't want no revenge. I gave it to my God.
Unremarkably, Granville declines to give a response. Throughout the trial, Granville seems disinterested by the proceedings. He also shows no sense of remorse for his actions, as the families give their testimonies. The judge, however, is strongly affected by this horrific crime and can't hold back her own tears.
A horrendous, physically painful, and psychologically torturous death at the hands of the defendant.
Capital punishment is not a common sentence. but it is usually given to convicts who are considered to have committed the most heinous of crimes. What do you think? Does the punishment fit the crime?
Yeah!
Sound off in the comments, leave a like, subscribe, and catch you next time.
Gotta put them under the jail, bro. You feel me? That's wild, man. If you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. Thank you guys for commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.